Welcome to Morning Journal, session number 232. Thank you so much for being here. Miss, thank you so much for dropping a little bit of coffee in the chat. We are getting things started for this session. We do Morning Journal every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Specifically, we get started in the VIP at 6. So if you want to catch the full 2 hours of this Monday through Friday experience, check out the link that you see on the screen if you're watching, or if you see in the show notes if you're listening, or in your description. And you can find your way into the VIP with us. I would be glad to have you here. The question that we're starting our conversation with today: what closely held beliefs have you let go of? That's the first question. And we're going to be exploring some ideas around that over the course of the conversation today. Those beliefs and those possibilities that we are willing to embrace. I think that a belief can be something that's really deeply entrenched, and beliefs, they shape the view of the world that you have. But I think it's also important to note that even the most closely held beliefs can be challenged in a moment of insight or clarity. It's like the lights come on for you. Sometimes that happens because you're faced with an overwhelming and emotionally intense experience, and that makes you question and challenge and maybe even let go of some of the beliefs that you held closely and dearly. But I think it's important to note that logic alone, and just like evidence alone, they're not sufficient to dislodge the things that you really hold dear. Somebody can explain something to you plainly, and you just won't be able to see it. I think it's stories, the stories that are what hold us and attach us to those beliefs, not even necessarily the evidence or the logic. There's stories involved that we can't let go of. And ultimately, I think it's stories that will be the path to letting you go and freeing you from things that you are believing that might be holding you back and limiting you in unnecessary ways. So, Enter a Nickname has joined us. Thank you for being here. Let's see what we have to say about those beliefs that we let go. J-Man says, I believed that I need to be loved by someone else to be happy, but I let that go. I believed that I needed to be loved by someone else to be happy. I know they put love and happiness together in a song. And sometimes they occur in pairs. But I don't think that they are completely dependent upon each other. Sigma is here. Sigma Ronan, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about beliefs, things that we have held closely, that we have somehow managed to let go of. What shows up for you when you think of that? So, Miss points out that love doesn't have to be romantic. We all need love from friends, etc. J-Man says, I have all the love. I have all the other love I could ever need. All the other love I could ever need. Ahsoka Tano, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Miss, thank you so much for the spoons. I appreciate it. Sigma says, I have let go of the belief that all people are naturally good. I've let go of the belief that all people are naturally good. That they just, out the box, good. Not so much. Evil does exist, right? So what closely held beliefs have you let go of? Sigma says, I get a sprinkle of love here and there. A little sprinkle. Sometimes a little dose can go a long way. Lainey is here. Welcome in, Lainey. It's so good to see you this morning. Hope that you are feeling well. That you are feeling up and at 'em. Or maybe you're, okay. Lainey's back. Hope that you're feeling either up and at 'em or ready for rest, whichever the case may be. I think that I'm not the only one who would agree that we're glad to have you here right now. So we're talking about beliefs and letting go of them, because I think that's the right word, is letting go of them. It's not so much about changing a belief, it's about letting it go. So, Miss says, I used to think I was incapable of accessing knowledge. Now I know that's not true. I'm a very capable person, and this helps me with how I interact with the world. So you had a misapprehension of your capability, underestimating yourself and what's possible for you. Hey, Miss, thank you so much for the spoons. I like the way they changed up the denominations of certain spoons. Go, 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 goat. All right, so if we are ready, we can get ready to go to the next little bit of conversation after we get these last ones in here. Tree says, I used to believe that my belief that faster is better. Faster is better. That's not always true. Sometimes taking your time to learn and gain experience over time will have better results. I think that that's a great insight. I think that you can probably draw some wisdom from your pseudonym. You can draw some wisdom from your pseudonym. You think about the way that trees grow. They're not in a big hurry, but as they grow, as the time passes, they get stronger and taller and more majestic. If they grew too quickly, they would be flimsy. All right. Let's get ready to go here. So our next prompt, the most difficult change you are currently seeking to make. What is the most difficult change you are currently seeking to make? A nickname is back. Welcome in. Welcome back. We're thinking about those changes. I think that for a lot of us, the first thing that you have to change, that you have to work on, is your belief about what's possible for you. So the way that Miss was talking about that change in perspective, sometimes that's the first change, the growth that's possible for you and the impact that you want to have in the world. What change are you currently seeking to make? In the I think at the core of all of it, personal growth lies at the center of any change, because your change comes out of the change that you make comes out of who you are becoming and the ways that you are growing. But beyond yourself, you might see a unique space, a unique opportunity to offer what you have to offer. Or there might be a challenge that lies out there that you want to shoulder, a burden that you want to bear to make things better. You feel that you are compelled for some reason, like this is the battle for me. This is a job for me. So, the difficult change that you are seeking to make. So Public Friend is here. Welcome in, Public. Thank you for joining us. They said my questions are extra nosy today. I don't know. Sometimes the answers are really kind of meant to show up here real time. Sometimes the answers come to you later, right? But just the idea of letting the question sit with you, I think it's important and it's valuable. But as you know, as is always the case, we might start with stuff that's heavy, and then we'll bring it full circle. We want to get your mind thinking, get your mind going, get your body thinking, because as I said yesterday, talked about how the thinking doesn't just happen inside your mind. You think with your entire body. You think with the world around you. You think in the open through movement. So Sigma Ronan says, I'm currently trying to replace my friends. I've dumped everyone in my circle. Now I'm goodwill hunting or friend hunting. Weak friends make us weak. So Sigma says, I can't have these squares in my circle. I had to let all them, I had to cut you off. I don't like what you're doing to me. Well, I think that there's a way, there's definitely a way to decouple from relationships of all types. That doesn't have to be decouple for sure, create the space for sure. But I think that you can do it in a way that is not unnecessarily cruel or damaging to the people who are involved, because you have to keep in mind that at some point you were where they are. Sometimes we grow and then we forget what it's like to be who we were, and we don't hold the level of compassion for people who are still in that place. So yes, grow. Yes, keep people around you who are the right sort of people to be around, but there is no need to hold malice towards anyone who is where they are, because that's just their journey. All right, when we get ready to, when we change the next prompt, I'll go and see where we at for the day. All right, let's see. So J-Man says, the biggest change I need to make is my ability to be extremely detailed oriented for my creative endeavor that I'm working on. I'm working on something, and I really got to focus in and be really detail oriented. Is that not your normal way of moving? That's not how you normally get down, J-Man? It's like, nah, I just be winging it, yo. I'm wings and fries. So maybe I need to do a poll. What's your favorite wing? Buffalo, lemon pepper? All right, let's see here. Thank you so much for the like, J-Man. Parmesan. Okay. It's like, yeah, talk about wings, man. Get out of our business. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about what the people really want to know. What's the best wings out there? Buffalo, Parmesan, lemon pepper. Some people just be eating plain wings. Just plain old wings. Don't mind us. So we have Tree says, currently just trying to be healthier, eating less carbs, less rice, add more protein and more green, and mostly trying to work out at least 6 days a week. Getting ready for that marathon. Yeah, getting ready for that marathon. It's so powerful to have something like that out in front of you to look forward to, right? It's really important. So we got definitely garlic parmesan with the mambo sauce on the side. Mumbo sauce, that's a DC thing. That's a DC thing, mumbo sauce. Teriyaki, I see in there. Hot teriyaki, wet. It's like, what? Yeah. So Tim says, be fully honest. I'm working on myself, but certain people can't handle this. Certain people can't handle the ways that you are working on yourself. They can't handle the truth. Are you afraid they can? Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot to take on. Especially when you feel like being yourself can create it can create a ripple effect that you may not feel ready for. So it's like a very sharp dilemma. Maybe it's not as easy as Sigma Ronan has it. So I'm just going to cut them off. Maybe your life ain't set up that way. So you can't just disregard. There's other things that you need to take care of. So that can be definitely a difficult change to face. So Miss says, J-Man's answer. Plus, I want to be more consistent, especially as I move into going back to school, taking more hours. So we had J-Man who was, being more detailed oriented and then being more consistent. Debbie Deb. It's nice to have you here this morning. Public friend is back. Probably out here surfing the streets. Got kicked out. It's good to see you. All right. So if we're ready, we had a few responses here. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, just go ahead and drop me a heart in the chat and we can go to the next one. And I promise it won't be so bad. Since y'all already, since I put wings out there, that's the real conversation. The real conversation is about wings. Never mind what I'm talking about. All right. So public friends, like, I'm tired. I'm just kind of here existing. That's cool. That's cool. People do that here. All right, let me update these numbers. All right. I'm just now updating the notice. Miss wanted to update on that. I don't know. Who wrote this prompt? I don't know. I'm assuming that it was a human being who wrote it and who assumed that if there was any confusion, you would be generous enough to have it clarified. That's who I'm assuming wrote it. Is that a pretty good guess? Would you say that's a pretty accurate guess? So it should read, what has surprised you most about the way your life has turned out so far? And let's go ahead and open up the request box. Noble Ancient is here. I guess you were summoned by them folks. We were about you, Noble. Your presence was missed here. I'm glad that you made it in, and I hope that you are doing well. The question that we're working with at the moment is, what has surprised you the most about the way that your life has turned out so far? What has surprised you the most? About how your life has turned out so far. All right, be better, a little more clear for you. All right, someone anonymously said, I'm most surprised by how long I've been with my partner. I'm most surprised by how long I've been with my partner, much longer than I expected. It's like, I didn't think it was gonna last, yo. I didn't think it was gonna last. But here we are, still together. So Sigma Ronan says, I am surprised that I'm still alive and healthy. I have survived my foolish self. Now that I know I only have one life, let's get this one right. Let's get this right. Yeah. Only got one. Alexis is here. Good morning, Alexis. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you. The question that we are sitting with right now is, what has surprised you the most about how your life has turned out? What surprised you the most about how your life has turned out thus far? I think that we are poor predictors of the way things actually are going to go. There may be some that, pretty close to what you imagine, but other things have turned out wildly differently than you expected. I think the tendency is we kind of overestimate what can happen in 1 or 2, and then drastically underestimate what can happen in like 5 or 10 years. It's difficult to gauge that because there's just so many variables just inside yourself and also in the world in general that come into play. And we like to predict and project and imagine, like have an idea. But if we see how good we've been at it up to this point, we should know that there is a chance that the things that you anticipate won't come to be. Whether those things are things that you are dreading or things that you are hoping for, we are always in the process of creating our future. Noble Ancient says that what has surprised me the most about how my life has turned out so far is how much more positive it is becoming as I adventure. Things are getting better. As I adventure, things are getting better. For sure. Rebecca says, I'm surprised that I'm still trying to figure out how to adult. I thought I would be the most adultest adult ever by now. Oh man. Yeah, I thought I would have had that adult thing kind of locked in. Not so much. So Miss says, I wasn't expecting to date my crush, but I was going to be an old maid. I was seriously planning on that. Not that anything is forever, but imagining again feels good. Not Miss Old Maid. Y'all remember those cards, that card game, Old Maid? They had those, they had all those weird characters in the Old Maid game. They had, who were the Old Maid folks? Yeah, who were the Old Maid characters? I knew Freddie Falloff was one. I don't know, do y'all remember that game? Miss says, I was gonna get a cow. Not being a literal Old May. So yeah, it's cool. Fifi Fluff. Of course, Fifi Fluff. Tilly Tumble. Fanny Flint. Oh man. So surprises. Alexa says, I am surprised that I am working at the company I wanted to work at since I was 6, but not the actual job I wanted. It's interesting that dreams sometimes come true only partially. Dreams come partway true, but I'll take it. Yois, welcome, and thank you so much for the like. It's been a while since I've seen you. Glad to have you back. Right now we're talking about the surprises, the things that surprise us about how our life has turned out thus far. Tree says that I used to be an adrenaline junkie, even though I'm afraid of heights. Well, the fear, I guess the fear enhances or triggers the adrenaline. So I love roller coasters and skydiving, swimming with sharks, scuba diving was great. Now I'm just too afraid. Yeah, your fear caught up with you, huh? All right, we are talking about the ways that our life has changed or turned out in like ways that we didn't expect. Like how it's different. You always had to start a new account, started with one, got that one follower. Louis Fred, thank you for joining us. Dinky is here. Thank you for being here. So J-Man says, the most surprising thing in my life till this point has been my time and experiences here on Spoon. Imagine that. Imagine being on an audio only streaming app and having a whole range of experiences that you didn't expect. All right, here we are. We are at the top of the hour. Feels like a good time to have a message from my sponsors. So let's do that. So, Morning Journal. We do this every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, we are live on Spoon in the VIP at 6, and then we start streaming on other platforms, you know, after we warm up a little bit. So if you want the entire 2-hour living experience, the only place you can find that is here in the VIP on Spoon. So if you check the link in your description or in the show notes, you can find your way. You can find your way. Also, I would like to say, go ahead and subscribe to the Morning Journal newsletter if you bout that. It's a great way to connect with some of these ideas in a more private and relaxed manner. We'll give you some prompts and some commentary and ways for you to just take a moment to reflect on your day and your life, as you see the case with the questions today. But yeah, it's just a cool way for us to stay connected and no matter what, no matter what platform I'm on or what I'm sharing. If you're in the newsletter, you are in the know. So I would love to have you there as well. So yeah. Kaloli is back. What's happening, Kaloli? We are talking about the things that have surprised you about the way your life has turned out. The most surprising thing in my life was finding out that people think human rights are radical. People think rights are radical, and that's surprising. I thought it was self-evident, but no. The idea that, there are things that are inalienable about the dignity of human beings. It shouldn't be too crazy a thing to think. But I'm surprised that people think that way. And that's the world that I'm living in. I get that. All right, let me see. If we're ready, we can kind of go to the next prompt. Tree's got to go ahead and jump in that shower. So Yui says, well, how is everybody? It's like, oh, we talking about something in here today. Well, how y'all doing, though? That's the question. Like, that's what I want to know. Because this next question, all right, let's do it. We might as well lean all the way in. This is where we are today. Just lean all the way into this, I guess. I don't know what I was on. All right. Let's catch this last one. Kaloli says, I never thought I'd be living in Hawaii on this career path and messing around with music with people I met on the internet. So big old surprise, surprise, surprise. All right, so here we go. This question: what scares you about the future you are currently living into? What scares you? If you keep going in the direction that you're going, like if you keep heading the way that you're heading, how do you imagine things would turn out? I think deep down, you know that the trajectory that you are on is headed somewhere, and I think you kind of know what it is. What scares you about that? What scares you about where you're headed? And I'm not talking about where you like say you would go, the stuff that you say, like, what your intentions are that you speak. I'm talking about like what you be doing every day. Like, what are you doing? What it is that you're doing? Where is that leading you? Like, honestly, not what you're saying that you want to do, but what are you actually doing, and where is that heading? And what scares you about that? So, what scares you about the future you are currently living into? I love that Kaloli thinks that for some reason Miss can make me answer a question. Jovi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. The question that we're thinking about right now is, what scares you about the future you are currently living into? What scares you about the future you're currently living into? Those things that you are doing every day, they're adding up to something. So Kaloli says, subs only lives, G should answer prompts. And I do answer prompts in subs only lives. You put the question to me, I'll answer it. But see, I think the only challenge about me answering the lives and the subs only prompts is the fact that I also pick the lives. I also pick the prompts. So I'll only pick something that I want to answer. Y'all go ahead and drop some green hearts in the chat. Rita is here. Welcome in. Goddess of Words is here. Lily is here. A lot of cool folks in here this morning for session number 232. Yeah, Noble, I saw it. Thank you. So Dinky says, I'm scared I'm going to end up being a party animal when I become a piercer in the city. Miss says, I'm going to come back and hit your stream right here on Sunday, G. Well, Sunday's a long way. There's going to be a lot of stuff that happens between now and then. So I trust you to forget this. Because, you know, your life is busy. You got stuff going on. You ain't got time to hold on to this. All right. Noble says, the future doesn't scare me at all anymore. I live in my 24 and my day's adventure, and each day I adventure takes me in the direction I am most needed. My daily routine isn't routine, and it's exciting. So I ain't scared. Basically is what just I ain't scared. All right. So Miss just put a whole bunch of fists in the chat. I guess that's a threat. So Goddess of Words says, explain the prompt. Most certainly. So if you look at the things that you are doing right now, not your stated goals or intentions or dreams, but like what you're actually doing every day, you can kind of see where it's headed. You can kind of see how things are adding up. What scares you about the picture that you see of the future that you are living into with the choices that you're making today? What is scary about that? Yeah, how your life is unfolding as a result of what you're doing every day. So Rebecca says, I'm scared that I might be by myself because men are weird. Men are weird, so I might be by myself. So someone anonymously shares that I'm scared that I will lose my family if I continue to voice my opinions and stand up for myself because they are homophobic and I am gay. So that can be a scary thing, being afraid that you will lose relationships that matter to you if you keep doing what you're doing. So for J-Man, it says, the endeavor I'm working on right now, my only fear is that it won't be successful and I might be wasting a lot of time and effort. That's always the risk, right? There's always the opportunity cost. Good morning, Serenity. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yeah, opportunity cost. Anything that you commit yourself to, that you lean into fully, there's a chance that you might be wasting your whole time. You might not be anywhere close. You might have your ladder propped against the wrong wall and you're climbing and climbing and climbing. And then you get to the top and you're like, I don't even like it here. That's always kind of the risk. And I think it's the thing that keeps people from committing. That little bit of doubt that, is this even the right way to direct my life at this point? It's always that hint of, I don't know, man. Maybe I should have done something else. That's what makes commitment scary. So Alexa says, the distinctive possibility of getting kicked out if Noble and I don't get some stuff figured out by the end of the month. We worked hard to fight for our way out of homelessness. We've worked too hard to fight our way out of homelessness to go back now. That's definitely a terrifying future to imagine. So Miss, after having wasted the opportunity to reply in the request box, to lean into a joke, decides to answer in the chat that I'm afraid of success and having to completely change my social circle and lifestyle. Fear of success. It seems like fear is on every side, isn't it? So, Temps, the future that I'm living into, I might lose some people. If I keep going the way that I'm going. So Jovi says, nothing is scary. We living our best life. I'm living my best life. Living life like it's golden. I hear you. Uh-oh, Buff J-Man's got a little pic reveal. Got them shoulders. I love how J-Man shows his progress and he just shows his face. How's your face changed? Say, no, man, look at these shoulders. I thought you were going to be all oiled up and posed out for us, J-Man. But right on. So for Goddess of Words, the fear is that I will never amount to my greatest potential. That I'll never amount to my greatest potential. Goddess of Words is like, I'm leaving. I know I'm leaving too much on the table here. So how does that show up in the things that you do every day? Do you feel like day by day you are not doing your best? Because, life's potential is kind of a big ephemeral thing to try to wrap your mind around. I guess at the end of the day, it's like, am I doing the best I can today? Am I doing like the best I can with what I'm doing at the moment? It's like a habit. All right. Thank you so much for the coffee, donuts, keeping us all fed and caffeinated in here this morning. Goddess of Word says, permanent circumstances that make things very difficult to navigate. Well, I think that the limits of our potential have to include the circumstances that we are in. So I guess what matters is to do the best you can with where you are and what you have, right? And by doing that, I think that satisfies your potential, because potential is always contextual, you know? Well, I think that the chances being reduced, I think the biggest thing about that is if you are caught in the trap of comparing yourself to someone else. The best that you can do in a given situation is the best that you can do in the situation. And if there are things that are creating limits, it's not a failure in your potential if you don't overcome them, if you have given your best effort. So your fear is that it isn't enough. Yeah. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that fear. I guess the biggest thing is not to let that fear keep you from doing what you can. A lot of times, what we feel we can't do prevents us from doing what we can do. We feel that what we can do is not enough, so we don't bother even to do that sometimes. Amazing how things compound. Like earlier in the conversation, we were talking about how we overestimate what's possible in 1 year or 2 years and underestimate what's possible when you bit by bit continue to add and grow. I think what you can give grows as you go. So if we are ready, let's get ready to go to the next prompt. So the next prompt. So we talked about what scared you about the future that you are currently living into based on the things that you are doing and the choices that you are making. Now we want to look at what excites you about the future that you can create. It's important for us to take into consideration the fact that we can make different choices. We can design a future that we would prefer. We can make those choices day by day. We can make those efforts day by day to be a little bit better. We can create some things. So when you think about the future that feels possible to you, what lies in potential for you if you go in the way that's possible. What's exciting about that? What's exciting about who you can become? So this is sort of the aspirational part of the question. There might be some things that you're still working on. There are ways that you're still growing. There's a direction that you're growing in. There's some things that you recognize that maybe you need to let go in order to allow yourself to become, this powerful thing that is living inside of you, looking for a way to be expressed. So Barry is here. Welcome in, Barry. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the like. I hope that you've been doing well. Life has been treating you well, I hope. So Dinky says, I'm excited to follow my dreams. I wanted to be a piercer and goldsmith since I was 9. Piercer / goldsmith / party animal. All that. Revy, welcome in. Thank you for being here. What excites you about the future that you can create is the question at hand. So you can let us know in the request box. If you drop it in the chat, I may or may not see it. It's kind of calming here. I'll probably see it though. But I'm glad that you're here. What are we excited about? Miss is excited about the community I can create, plus the people that I can help and meet. I'm excited about the community I can create, the people that I can help meet. Leaning into that desire to build community and make connection. Goddess of Words says, by the same token, all the possibilities of what could be excite you as much as you fear that you are not enough, or that what you have to offer is not enough. It is still exciting to consider the possibility. And as long as you have that, then maybe in that excitement, you can find a sense of willingness to give it that try that you were talking about, to give that effort. Maybe you can be induced to effort through the excitement that you have for what's possible. So Miss says that excitement about community, and connection, and is all about co-creating. For sure. Noble Ancient says that the future excites me because I can see that next midnight reset coming and know that my adventure will continue where I am needed most. I am excited for each new day in itself. I'm excited each day. My excitement for the future is renewed every day. Barry says, I'm excited that I'm creating life. Can't wait to see how this goes. Okay, you're creating life. There are a few things that could mean. And if you mean it in the most literal way, congratulations. So someone anonymously shares, I'm excited that I could be surrounded by people that love and accept me as I am and won't leave or judge me for my sexuality. That's a future that I can create, and I'm excited about that. I can move towards that. Yeah, for sure. J-Man says, I'm excited by the simple yet possibly incredible potential of an unknown future. The simple yet possibly incredible potential of an unknown future is what excites me. I hear you. Barry, thank you so much for the coffee and the donuts and the bagels. Breakfast in the chat, folks. Thank you so much. I mean, it's continental, but it's good. It's good. All right. So someone anonymously shares that I'm excited about having a family being financially better and love. Those are things in a future that I can create that excite me. Not Tim giving J-Man the business. Tim giving J-Man the business, and I'm not seeing an answer from Tim, so if you said it, you didn't say it with your chest. I don't think you can say anything to anybody else since you didn't say anything at all. Yeah. So until you're ready to answer, Okay. So you can keep thinking about this. We're going to get ready to go into a little bit of a recap. And I know it's been like a real sharp situation today. We've been sharp in here. But I want to do a quick recap to go over some of the ideas that we have discussed today in the session. I know that some of these questions like, I don't know, fam. I don't know if I want to talk about that. But just having those questions planted in your mind, whether you chose to speak on it here or think about it later, I think it's valuable every once in a while to take a serious look at things, right? So we started talking about beliefs that we have managed to let go, things that we held on to. Somehow something happened. We achieved a higher level of understanding and clarity, or we were able to let go of a story that wasn't serving us any longer. So we looked at that, and we looked at the difficult changes that we are facing, that we are trying to make, whether that's inside of ourselves or in the world that's around us. We examined the surprises in the way that our lives have turned out so far, and the things that are scary about the trajectory of things at the moment, looking at what are my daily actions and relationships, and what are all those things adding up to, and what scares me about that right now. And then finally, we're thinking about the things that excite us about that future. And that's sort of been the arc of the conversation. I guess in the moment, some of the questions might have felt a little sharp, but when you look at it as a whole, I think you can kind of understand sort of the point that our past does not have to equal our future, but if we are not intentional, will. So bringing your awareness to those things, to those beliefs, those, regular actions, bringing your awareness to what is adding up to can be really valuable. And trusting the fact that you can let things go and move in a different direction, and you have evidence in your life that that's possible. It's a great way to set yourself up. Jaylee says, by the way, I'm going to say, gee, your voice is... Thank you so much, Jaylee. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you made it in this morning. We got Steve here from the Hold Up TV. Yeah. So we got another response here from Alexis. Says, I can create my own reality. The life I dream of with work. The life I dream of with hard work and dedication. It excites me that I can create my own reality. Yeah, isn't that something? Isn't it something that we are generating a reality? So what I want to do right now, I'm going to reset the request box, and I want to just say for all the folks who are listening and watching the live stream on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you happen to be watching the live stream or the replay, I really appreciate you for being here. I hope that you've gained something from the conversation today. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure that you give us a rating and review. 5 stars. I mean, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But yeah, leave us a rating review. It helps people find us. And we're going to kind of close out the last half hour just with the VIPs in here, and we're going to hang out. If you want to be a part of that, I encourage you to follow the link in your show notes, and you can join us and get the full 2-hour experience every Monday through Friday. This has been session number 232 of the Morning Journal, and I thank you for spending time with me. We'll see you in the morning.